All right, what is happening, my partners and pilgrims? It's Bryce Schumacher here again, aka Big BS, on the domain. Thanks for tuning in today. We've got an interesting story here about our console here, the Xbox Series S, and Baldur's Gate 3. Some new Baldur's Gate 3 news has been dropped this week, and I'm going to share some with you. So, Baldur's Gate 3 drops on PC. It's blowing up everywhere. Console players want to know, when are we going to play it? Well, we've got good news. So, PlayStation 5, we already had a release date in the works. Previous to any of this news, because PS5 hardware, good to go. Now, when it comes to Baldur's Gate on Xbox, there's a little bit of the difference here. So, Xbox has this plan where all games that come out on Series X or Series S have to come out on both consoles on the same day. It's because they are the same generation. So they want the Series S and the Series X to have the same games, same day. With Baldur's Gate 3, that's a little tricky because it is very hardware intensive, lots of cinematics. So, the Xbox Series S has been holding Baldur's Gate 3 release back until now. Because of the hardware of the Series S, it's not able, we all know it's not packing what the Series X has. It's not just a disk drive, it's not just the hard drive, it's the actual hardware inside as well. The processing and gaming processing. So with Baldur's Gate 3, for a while here, we didn't know if Xbox was going to get it at all, because the Series S was holding it back essentially with the deal that Xbox has to put the games all out in the same day, same time for both consoles. So now we're seeing the Series S's power limitations kind of start to hold back the gaming. We just want to play the games. We don't, if you talk to a Series X player and he's wanting to play Baldur's Gate 3 and you say, oh, well, we can't put it out on Xbox Series X because we can't put it out on Series S. Now you're going to start ticking people off and make them probably go to PlayStation or PC. So they were quick to find a solution. Developer Larian talked with, what's his name? Phil Spencer, CEO at Microsoft Gaming. And they have found a solution, and there's a release date for Baldur's Gate for Xbox. So the solution, the Series S version of Baldur's Gate 3 will not be able to do a split screen co-op. Now, if you know anything about this game, it's similar to Diablo style, where you've got, a few players with you and top-down kind of dungeon crawling. And so Series S, this is the first time we're seeing limitations brought to the Series S in a game, or a feature loss rather. So no split screen co-op on the Series S version of Baldur's Gate 3. Series X version, yes. So now the question is, as we keep moving on into more next-gen games that we're seeing starting to finally come out, what else is the Series S going to cause us to lose feature-wise, or maybe down the line a game, an entire game? Maybe eventually Microsoft might drop the plan where all the games have to come out the same day for both consoles. There might possibly be a day where we see an Xbox Series X only game. Now, what happens then? All the Series S players are going to be upset because that's not what they were promised when they bought it. Now, this is a great piece of hardware. This is the only current Xbox generation system that I have. I had a Series X. I don't have it anymore, but I've got a PS5. I got, Switch, Series S. But I love this thing. It does what it needs to do. I don't have a 4K screen, so I don't need all that yet. But eventually I'm going to get there, and I would hate for the Series S to be holding me back on something like, let's say, GTA 6 when it comes out. We all know it's in the works, and we all know it's going to be a hefty install. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Starfield's going to be able to run very well on this. We'll see when it comes out, but I'm guessing that the 30 frames per second lock on Starfield has something to do with the Series S limitations, but they didn't want to say that. That's just my opinion. So, back to Baldur's Gate 3 though. Xbox, now that we've figured out a solution, we finally have a release date for our Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3, which is September 6th on PlayStation. Okay, I'm sorry. September 6th on PlayStation, which is same day as Starfield pretty much. But Xbox does not have a release date yet, but they did say it would be out this year. So they've just got a few more tweaks to do, and we'll get Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox. No split screen co-op, which is fine with me, but it is driving the case further for me to go back to get a Series X. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. Series S was holding back Baldur's Gate 3 release, and we found a solution, but we're still not getting it the same day as PlayStation 5. And we kind of still don't know when it's coming. So let's hope in the future that they're able to find these type of solutions a little faster so that we're not being delayed on great games like this. Because not only is that hurting us as the gamer, but I imagine it's probably hurting the sales for the developer. But PlayStation 5 is probably over there dancing. Sony's over there singing and dancing that they're going to be the only console with Baldur's Gate 3. So, all right, that's going to conclude this. So in summary, Series S holding back Baldur's Gate 3. Phil Spencer, we salute you. He found a solution, pretty simple, but let's just hope that in the future we're not seeing more sacrifices or more limitations or feature loss or total game loss on the Series S because of its hardware limitations. It is a great price point console to get into current generation games, but I do see it being a problem in the next 3 or so years. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a discussion about the Series S and its limitations and what we can expect. But thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for joining me on the domain here. Go make sure and follow us on all the social media platforms. We're on Twitch. We do live streams multiple times a week there. Follow us there. And if you like the video, go ahead and give it a like and share it with your friends. And let's have a conversation about it. I'd love to discuss some of these topics I've been posting with you guys. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us here on the YouTube comments. But yeah, this has been Big BS, Bryce Schumacher on the domain. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a great day.